Well, check the markets. They are down. Dow Jones has lost more than before. NASDAQ and S&P made a slight recovery, but the Dow Jones Industrial Average down about 0.75%. Gregg Smith is here with us, our market guy. So, Gregg, SPACs. Let's talk about SPACs. You say that SPACs are sucking up 90% of the oxygen in the room. But first off, you know how Stewart hates to use these terms like SPACs. What is a SPAC?
Hey, good morning, David. Well, a SPAC, the easiest way to look at this is it's basically a publicly traded checking account. So think about a management team getting together, raising hundreds of millions of dollars and have that sitting in a checking account. And then they are on a mission to go out and buy a company with those dollars. Now, they don't have unfettered access to that money. They do have to seek shareholder approval. But you're right. I think the news headlines today, SPACs are sucking up 90% of the air in the room.
Wow.
So our morning coffee at 7 a.m. is dominated by news of M&A activity of some SPAC acquiring a private company. And in the afternoon on our drive home, it's dominated by 4 or 5 new SPACs filing to go public and probably another 4 or 5 that have completed an IPO that day.
Now, let me just stop you there quickly. How does a SPAC, because it's not a publicly traded company, how do they get around the SEC? I mean, aren't they getting very close to being a public company? And wouldn't the SEC be very interested in getting information that you don't have to reveal if you're not a public company?
Well, SPACs are public. So today there's more than 300 publicly traded SPACs chasing acquisition targets. They will trade. They basically all have $10 in cash sitting in trust in a checking account or a bank account, and they're all out looking for acquisition targets. So
okay.
I don't want to start sounding alarm bells here, but I want to have a reality check, right? Because you have 300 SPACs looking for targets. You have 5 new minted SPACs every day coming to market. If you look across the U.S. landscape, while we know there's tens of thousands of U.S. venture-backed companies, there's probably 450 unicorns.
Right.
These are private companies with valuations in excess of $1 billion. So I question, David, what's going to happen when all the pretty girls get asked home from the dance first? You have 300 SPACs. There's only so many great targets out there with more and more coming every day.
Right.
So does that mean that the quality is going to begin to erode in terms of these acquisition targets? Or will the American dream kick in and more entrepreneurs will be creating more great private companies?
Well, let's hope it's the latter. I want to skip over SPACs for a second and get to these House hearings on GameStop, the Robinhood saga. I say this is all about finding out whether or not Robinhood conspired with the big guys against the little guys. You say what?
Look, my opinion here is this is just another example of Washington political theater, right? In my opinion, there was no wrongdoing here. You got to break down and look at the actors. If you and I borrowed $10,000 on our credit card and went into the casino and lost that at the craps table, I don't think we would be here. But unfortunately, you got a lot of very attractive targets, the politicians that want to look good to their constituents. So if you look at Robinhood, you look at the U.S. investment banks, at the end of the day, these people are gatekeepers to the capital markets, right? This is not an example of fraud. This is not John Corzine and MF Global stealing customer money and going out and building up a levered bond portfolio. This is a firm that took necessary actions to protect their constituents, their trading partners, and the market in general to prevent any type of systemic risk to the system.
Well, the problem for them, for Robinhood, is that a lot of their constituents are burning mad against them, and they've lost a lot of those constituents. So we'll see what happens. Gregg Smith, good to see you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.